Hey y'all, what's up, people? What's up, family? What's up, beautiful people? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? How we doing? Hey, Lady Hayward. Hey, Keith Bless Druss. Good evening. Hey, Miss Rachel 32. What it do? Hey, my name is Dre. What's happening? I see you guys popping in here. What's up to my family on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, what else? LinkedIn, all of the above. Yep. What up, Soror? Look, don't be jelly, Sorors. We gonna talk about all of this right here. And I'm drinking some real grown people stuff tonight, y'all. I'm surely drinking grown people stuff tonight because I'm gonna talk about grown people shit tonight. But don't I always? Let me tell y'all what's in here. First of all, thank you to my sorors in Cleveland. They came through and they blessed us with so many beautiful gifts, and this was one of them. And let me just take a minute before we get into the dialogue and the conversation to highlight some of these Black-owned businesses. This is from ProSo. Here's a card, you guys. ProSo. And it is an acrylic tumbler, Sigma Gamma Rho, and Miriam, I'll tag them under my post once I post this. Miriam P. Murphy is the owner, professional soror. So most ladies would probably have, something non-alcoholic in here, but like I said in Meet the Browns, a lady never drinks, she sips. So I'm sipping on a little something. This is actually, hey UK, this is actually a little shot of tequila and some, y'all know what's really good? That Ocean Spray cran mango is pretty bomb. So it's a little cran mango and then some other fruit juices in here. I just needed a drink, you guys, and I really wasn't even going to go live. But I said, you know what? It's a lot of stuff going on right now in the world, in the music industry, in the entertainment industry in particular. And hey, Chris, you can absolutely go live with me. Let me get the party started. Stick around for a minute. If y'all want to go live, I really want to hear from y'all tonight. I really want to, I feel like having some dialogue tonight. Now, here's the thing. Don't be offended. If you haven't gone live with me in the past and I don't know who you are, then I have a hard time kind of, just bringing people into my live that I don't know. And that's not to say that anybody's going to say anything off the wall, but I'm just kind of one of those people who tries to avoid it. And then I ain't quick enough on the draw to I don't know how to really take people off and all that because I don't bring people on that much. But anyway, on all platforms, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, if you want to go live, then please holler at your girl. If you've gone live with me before or I know who you are. Otherwise, we just gonna chill and chit chat. 1922, baby. Shout out to my sorors in Cleveland. We just had a wonderful, thank you for understanding. It's just because, you guys, I'm be real transparent with y'all, or as transparent as I can possibly be with y'all about shit. And I got a lot going on, and it's a lot of people who are just looking for the opportunity to Kanye my ass, and I'm not really gonna, I'm not here for it. So speaking of Kanye, I want to hear from y'all. What are y'all thoughts on it? I have a lot of thoughts on it. I'm not gonna share all of my thoughts on it, but what I have done, as in the words of my girl Christine Beatty, who always says, don't just read the headlines, read the story. I've been trying to gather more information and read the story. And like a lot of people, I'm starting to see that there is much more to this story. This Kanye West painting behind me, my husband painted a few years ago. I think the painting is brilliant. I have a lot to say about the Kanye West thing, and it'll be something that we'll get into gradually because now I don't really know what's going on. I don't think any of us really knows what's going on. I think we're just kind of following headlines and not really having the full and complete story. But anyway, I want to shout out a couple other people. I didn't put my lip on because I wanted to do it live with you guys. This is a company called The Glam Doctor. And because I was wearing my red Rewrite YouTube, y'all can't really see it, but my red Rewrite Her Story t-shirt, I thought that I would wear my red lipstick. And this lipstick is called, you guys, I can't see shit, Blaze. So Glam Doctor Blaze, Black owned company in Detroit. Follow the Glam Doctor. I was introduced to them when I was working on a film that is coming out with Jessica Care Moore. I play her best friend, Chuck. And the makeup artist used the Glam Doctor's products on me, and I fell in love. And the fact that she's from Detroit made me fall even more in love. So I'm going on ahead and put my lipstick on. But yeah, y'all, we got some stuff to talk about. Oh my God. I'll try to do it. I don't lie. And it's like matte and it stays forever. And I'm one of them big lip girls that don't mind wearing red. Big lip stuff is played out though. Hold on, I got my mirror right here. That whole like, your lips too big for red lipstick shit. Oh shit, I'm messing up. It's so played out. It is so played out. Or you can't wear red lipstick to church. Come on now. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you see wearing that red lipstick. Honey, red is a power color. Okay, unless you putting it. Oh, see what I did? Look. See there? Talking shit. Trying to multitask. Knowing I'm not an MUA. But trying to promote a Black-owned business. That's enough. My lips literally eat up lipstick. It's just, I got soup coolers, baby. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. Here you go. Okay, that's my commercial for the Glam Doctor. And this color is Blaze. I didn't do a very good job of applying it. But oh well. I was going to wear my hairnet on here tonight, y'all. But I decided at the last minute to take it off. Okay, what else? I want to promote a couple of other products. Oh, this one. Oh my God, you guys. So I have said this before. This product right here is called Utulvu. Utulvu, right? She is another Detroit-based young Black female entrepreneur. And when I tell you, I got a mustache and I'm still wearing red. So you can wear red lipstick whether you got a mustache or not. Look, all these rules and shit. Who makes up these rules? Who makes up these fucking rules? I don't give a shit about these rules. These rules don't matter to me. Mustache, big lips, big teeth. You can still wear red lipstick if that's what you want to do. Okay, you guys, look, let me tell y'all about this real quick. And then we're going to get into the conversation. But I need to promote. Ooh, I got to promote a couple other little products real quick. Just because I got a couple people on my live and it's Black-owned businesses that I want to promote. This product right here is a body butter. When I tell you it lasts forever, I'm a skin product fiend. I love products, especially natural products that wear well. It smells. If y'all could just smell this is called baby powder. It is one of my favorites, you guys. I love this right here. And it just kind of goes on literally like butter. So again, the name of the product is Utulvu. 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 And she aesthetics. And she is a Detroit-based entrepreneur. Just a couple of other little products I want to show you guys real quick. Oh, first of all, what I'm most excited about is I got my bag back. Many of you don't know. Some of y'all may know. Boom. There you go. 1922 Sigma Gamma Rho, baby. So my bag was stolen. The person who stole my computer also took my bag, a couple of my bags. So my soror, shout out to my soror, Deborah Brown, who gave me another bag, and my soror, Tisha Brown, who pushed soror Brown to get me another bag. So I'm super proud of that. And the thing I'm super duper proud of, I think I showed all those other products. You guys, let me show y'all what my baby made me. So Brandy, my daughter, is doing something that's called tufting, right? And I absolutely love this. And then I'm going to get into this conversation. How nice is this, you guys? So this is tufting. Can y'all see it? Can y'all see it? I am representing. So it is like a really cool, I'm going to hang it in my office. She's not finished with it. She's going to put a backing on it and everything. But it's my, in case y'all can't see it, it's my sorority with a poodle in the middle. Shout out to Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. If y'all can't tell, I'm geeked up. And my daughter Brandy made that for me. So follow She Tuft. I'll make sure that I add that as well. So real quick, I just want to talk a little bit about my opinion of everybody else's opinion on what's going on out here in these YouTube streets. And I know I said yay, so I know that the algorithms and, you know, whatever. But for the 3 people that's on here, we're going to talk about it. How about that? How do you guys feel about the Kanye West situation? Is anybody open enough to share their thoughts on Kanye West? If you don't want to come on live with me, you can drop them in the chat. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on the situation, because I believe that there are a lot of people who have a lot of opinions on the current situation. And I like to hear from people. Hey, Timogen, I see you, baby. Would love to send you a t-shirt from my lifestyle brand, stayblackandstayblessed.com. Okay, please send me a DM. That would be awesome sauce. So Leah Stepp says that Kanye West needs a prayer. Listen, don't we all? We all need prayer. We all need Jesus. Call on Jesus. Count on Jesus, baby, for real. The whole world right now is going through some shit. Okay, Aiden Woyoyami, I'm pronouncing that so wrong. Aiden says that he loves Kanye West. SD Martin says, great interview on Halftime Chat. Hey, Leon, I see you. Timogen says he needs therapist and a prayer. I agree. We all need therapy and we all need prayer. I mean, honestly, and I'm not just saying that just to be sarcastic or funny. Like, we've been going through collectively as a whole group of people, we have all been going through what I believe is PTSD. How can you see so much death and illness and pain and struggle and loss and not, be feeling some type of way about it and not need to talk to somebody about it? I truly believe we could all use some therapy and some love. Meaning I can't judge him, but he needs prayer. Exactly. Right. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Somebody said they're going to DM me. Oh, Ren, that's with t-shirts. So that's kind of my perspective, you guys. What I have, right. We all need prayer 100%. And that's kind of where I am in this situation. Let me see how I can open up this chat. Something is going on, y'all. Bear with me for a second because it's not working over here. And I want to make sure I can talk to everybody and I can see everybody. Okay, hold on. It's some great comments coming in here. Okay. Kanye West needs to have grief counseling also. I agree with that 100%. Grief is something that never goes away. And I truly, truly believe, as I've said on lives before, that the loss of his mother, really is something that, has impacted his life. Someone else says, Rachel says, I really just feel so bad for him. His family needs to step in. Timogen says, to lose your mom is a huge hole in your heart too. Hey, Doug, fresh in this mug. Hi, Dougie. That's one of my favorite people in the business. So I'm sorry, y'all, getting this lipstick off my teeth. So my perspective, thank you for saying I've been looking fabulous. I appreciate it. It's almost time for me to get some new braids, y'all. My shit grows so fast. My hair grows hella fast. Like, I'm grateful for it, but it grows fast and it's super duper duper thick. So I'm like one of the people who has an afro for like 5 years and then you blow it out and it's the whole thing. But let me give a little bit of my perspective on the Kanye West situation. Nobody asked me for it. It is unsolicited. It is just my opinion, but I feel like as somebody in the industry who I would like to think, some people maybe not as many people as, others have listening or paying attention to what they say, but I would like to believe that people have a little bit of respect for some of the things that I talk about. And I think one of the big issues that we have in this situation with Kanye West is that we have a lot of people who are injecting, really venomous, angry, hateful, mean, and, very disrespectful opinions about the brother. And I don't agree with the White Lives Matter t-shirts. I don't agree with the George. There's somebody just said, I think his comments about George Floyd were wrong, but the comments about, we're not gonna say that name. So that's the catch-22, right, you guys? The catch-22 in this Kanye West situation is, and if you're on Facebook or YouTube and you want to join in on the chat, just, please let me know. holla at your girl. But the catch 22 in this situation is that a lot of what Kanye West is talking about, that's his walk. Those are his experiences. And he'll say something and I'll be like, he ain't never lied. And then he'll say something and I'll be like, what the hell is going on? What is he talking about? Someone said, it's good to put friend first, but sometimes we also need to be careful about talking about the life people live. Oh, okay, it's Aiden Woye. Okay. Oh, wow. I love it. From West Africa. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm not going to pretend like I still know how to pronounce it because, that would be some BS.
I truly believe.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to mute my... What? Hold on.
Meaning I can't judge him.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's my YouTube. Hi, Edwin. How are you? Good to see you. Edwin says he is suffering from trauma. You guys, if you're watching me on YouTube, please do me a favor and press like and subscribe. That is so, so important to me building my YouTube audience and our worth.tv. And our YouTube is worth.tv. So let me go into what Edwin is saying. He's saying a lot. He said, I'm very open. He should be ashamed of himself for the things that he's saying. I feel that he's overdoing it and he loves being in the heart of controversy. He's hurting so many people. The stuff he said about slavery, this is coming from Edwin. And the recent stuff about George Floyd is just too much. He's suffering from trauma and needs trauma therapy. No, I see your comments. I absolutely see your comments popping up. So a lot of what you just said, Edwin, is absolutely correct. I do believe that there's trauma, but we're all suffering from trauma. And the thing is, just because you're in a situation where you're suffering from trauma does not mean that parts of what you say are not true, right? It is just your perspective. Now, there are certain things, again, I cannot agree with. Yay, do not wish you any ill will, brother. Want you to be great and want you to change the world in a positive way. Don't want you to be caught up in the middle of a bunch of frivolous, unnecessary controversy. Because I do think that, he is, brilliant and creative. And that is where I step up as a fellow creative and say that we really have to be careful about, in this situation in particular, judging based on the headline and not the story. Because I know personally, headlines can be manipulated. People can absolutely put you in a trick bag in a lot of ways. I'm not saying this is what happened with Kanye West. I don't know. I wasn't there. And that's the big thing. People be talking a lot of shit about shit they wasn't there to see. That's the other thing, right? So I don't want us to throw the baby out with the bathwater, for lack of a better word. I think it's important for us to consider that here is somebody who has seen certain aspects of this industry at levels that many of us have not and will not see. He is one of the most successful, wealthy entertainers in the business. And he is suffering through some form of trauma, even if what he's saying isn't based on, in his opinion, mental illness or whatever, right? Even if he believes that everything he's saying is spot on and, he's just ahead of himself and whatever. You still have to consider your audience. You still have to consider the people who have made you who you are, who have contributed to your wealth, who have bought your products, right? And I think that's what artists forget a lot of times, right? And I've been guilty of it as well. So I'm not here to judge. This isn't a bashing or a judging thing with Kanye West. I see a lot of celebrities out here, bashing this brother. And if he really does have mental health issues, don't be a hypocrite. Don't be sitting up talking about silence the shame. You know what I'm saying? And you should help people when they're going through a breakdown and give people consideration. And then when somebody's going through a very serious, or what you think is a very serious breakdown, then you start bashing them and calling them crazy. And, you're going to slap shit out of them and all this other stuff. Someone says, we all go through hard things and times, but it doesn't mean he can talk about such serious topics in that way, knowing that it affects his people. And that's the biggest thing. Like, I think the only criticism that I would give him, because I don't know Kanye. I've met Kanye in the past and, literally in passing. So I don't know him, or Ye, as he prefers to be called, I guess now. I don't know him. But what I do know is that this industry can drive people, to weird, crazy places. Right? Now that I can speak for sure. This entertainment industry that we operate in, right, can really make you, You need something from me, babe? This entertainment industry that we operate in can really make people snap. I thank God that I have kept, as I said before, my family around me, certain people around me, to help kind of shield me from certain things, but I still get it in a major way. And if you haven't dealt with the evil, sinister, demonic energy in this industry, then it's hard for you to form an opinion when somebody breaks. I agree 100% what he said about George Floyd was out of order. First of all, you don't speak disrespectfully on the dead. And secondly, if you wasn't there, we all watched what we watched on TV. This man got sentenced for murder. So obviously some shit went down that wasn't whatever this brother said it was. And you have to respect that. And I think that if George Floyd's family feels like they need to, use the legal system to teach people that you just cannot go around saying anything about people, especially if you don't know for sure, then I absolutely, support any decision that a family feels like they need to make in order to protect the legacy of their loved one. But I will say that with respect to some of the other things that he is saying, I'm gonna get to you, Forever Deshaun, as well. With respect to some of the other things that Kanye West has been saying in the media about the industry, and this is strictly about the industry, and got a soft spot in my heart when the brother starts talking about things like copyright infringement and stealing, ideas. I'm not saying anybody stole my shit. So anybody who's watching, waiting for me to say some shit about, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what Kanye said. I'm using his words because that's the other thing. So you have to be very careful about the words that you use. I'm a living testimony to it. It's so much shit I want to say. There's so much truth I want to share. But the reason why I'm reluctant to just running my mouth and sharing too much information, although some of y'all might think I've shared a lot, I have not. Wait till this court situation gets started. It's going to be a whole lot more stuff shared. Oh, trust me. But I say that to say, I understand the frustration of feeling like your hands are tied. I understand the feeling of feeling like you have to kind of go ballistic in order to make people pay attention. And honestly, I think that has something to do with it. I think that Kanye West had to pull a crazy Ivan. Sometimes you have to, because we talk positively and politely and use the correct grammar. I cuss a little bit every now and then, but for the most part, I be trying to, filter myself. And it doesn't reach people. Well, it reaches some people, but it doesn't reach larger masses of people because we respond to trauma. We respond to drama. We respond to anger and hostility, right? I was listening to Charelston White, who's another one, because what I do is even if I don't agree with what somebody's saying, I will listen to what they're saying because you can learn something. I know I talk a lot. It don't seem like I listen, but I be listening and reading and all kind of shit, right? I listen because you can actually learn something if you shut up and listen to people. And I don't think Kanye is, it's just my opinion. I don't think that Kanye is out to destroy or to hurt Black people. But I do think that the words and the comments and the things that he has said has absolutely hurt a lot of us, and especially the Floyd family. Okay, that was out of order. But let me get to some of these comments over on YouTube. Forever Deshaun said, I just need him to go away on a long vacation. He needs to take some time, reflect on what he's doing. He's tarnishing everything he worked for and working against himself. He could choose to get out. He is disrespectful and traumatizing. Where's his village? I pray for mental health and whatever is happening behind the scenes. I hope he gets help. He should consider going hermit for a while to just reconnect within. And stop using George Floyd as your soapbox. That is the problem for me. Obviously, he was murdered, indeed. Ultimately, he's choosing violence, and the problem he has is personal. Why do we all have to experience it? Wow. Forever Deshaun, I can't argue with you on that. I think that you have a very valid point. I think that two things can be true. We all don't have to experience it though. In fact, I wasn't even going to talk about it anymore, but I noticed that everybody was talking about it. And I noticed that the energy on it was just very toxic, right? What you cannot do is you cannot respond. I'm sorry, it's not respond. You cannot react to something in a way that is not proactive. And proactive means solution oriented, right? With venom and hate because you just made you mad. Because that's the same thing that it appears that Kanye West is doing. If he gets pissed off about some shit, hey sister, if he gets pissed off about some shit, then he's going to share it in a way that comes off, in my opinion, and in all of our opinion, as out of pocket or out of order. So I think that if you're doing the same thing because you don't like what Kanye West is saying, then it's the pot calling the kettle black. Here, let's see what this comment on YouTube. I agree. Sometimes the best healing is time with ourselves. 100%. Let's see. Exo Haltwanger. What? That's a name. He said, I tend to overlook it. However, I think he's a provocateur and his poor delivery often diminishes his message. Everything we do and say comes with consequences, which, are criticism, indifference, and praise. That is 100. Listen, EXO, you hit it on the nail on the head. His delivery, right? And he is absolutely a provocateur. But isn't everybody in social media right now? You have to be a provocateur in order to get people to pay attention to you. I've been talking about lack of equality. I've been talking about domestic violence. I've been talking about mental wellness. I've been spending every resource, every dollar, every dime I got to fight for positive images among women and girls. I've spent my entire career working to basically be positive and share light and go out and speak to girls and go visit high schools and people be like, oh, that's nice. But if I walked up to somebody and slapped the shit out of them, I would be on every news outlet on the planet. I would be everywhere. The whole internet. Shakita says there are a number of people who exploit people on the internet for profit. Everybody does. Everybody. YouTube. Thank you for the badge, CD62. I appreciate you. I've been trying to crack this YouTube nut forever. And I'm telling you, if I got caught up in some drama or some mess or got called a clout chaser or got called or wanted to fight with somebody, my YouTube numbers would be off the chain. The videos that I have on YouTube that do the best are the videos that are full of drama and mess, and not drama and mess that I said. Somebody just said the Kelly Price thing. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Looking for missing women is something we've been doing. We're not actually physically going out looking for them. That's a lie. But bringing awareness to missing women and girls in our community. The fact that Detroit, Michigan went through a period of having all these young girls just turn up missing in my hometown. I've been talking about that for years. The minute Kelly Price goes missing and gets mad because I still want to talk about it, then all of a sudden it's like the biggest thing ever, right? So we talk about how appalled we are at the things that Kanye West has said and done. But are we really? Are we really appalled or are we compelled? Are we captivated? Are we like, ooh, what Kanye West say today? What he did? Somebody said, it's one thing to market, but someone want to do illegal stuff and get over, including saying that he is purposely hurt. Yeah, and again, like I said, okay, so let me say this. I'm going to ask y'all a question, and this is only for my real ones. Hold on. Edwin says, I'm loving this conversation. I'm sorry. I love dissecting things and getting to the root and also holding all accountable. We're participating in today's social media stuff. Hey, Romania. Thank you, Edwin. Forever Deshaun said, that was a mess. You meant well, but people chose to see the negative part of it. Exactly. Like I got a whole entire video on worthmedia.com that clearly shows you, right? I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about this right now. That clearly shows you that these two things are like very, 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 very substantially similar. And when you pair that with the fact that I went in and I actually pitched this thing to them and showed this thing to them. I'm not making this about me. I'm getting somewhere. I promise y'all. But people will still. I went and sat down and talked to these people. I copyrighted my play in 2004. I did all of the things that I was supposed to do. And because of a narrative that was put out by another TV show, I got all of these people on the Shade Room and all of these people in all of these various platforms and outlets. I can't stand that bitch. She crazy. That her, da da da. Nobody cares about the fact that, which, you know, I don't get out here and say, you know, what this 2-year going into 3-year journey has been like for me and my family, or all the other things that we have going on. But I could very easily snap the out and go off. But the reason I don't is because I understand that if people are not reading the story, people are not watching the video, people are not really focusing on the facts, the stipulated facts of my case or anybody else's case, it doesn't matter. People are going to formulate an opinion. It's like Michael Jordan is the dopest basketball player on the planet until he does some shit that the media says ain't right. And then all of a sudden he's like the worst person ever. Shakita says that's why lawyers exist. 100%. I'm grateful that I have good lawyers. But at the end of the day, lawyers are people too. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Baby, listen. Baby, listen. As my daughter would say, baby, listen. That's so ghetto. When I was going through the R&B Divas thing, it blew my mind how hard it was to find representation as a Black woman who basically was having a whole franchise taken from her because of how small this industry is and what the people's relationships are. And I understand when artists get to the point where they just feel like, listen, I'm going crazy Ivan, as my husband calls it, AWOL. I don't believe that that is a proactive way of doing anything. I think that the most proactive thing that you can do is plan and strategize. And I think that what we've done as a community is we've gotten so used to destroying each other and making each other literally, I'm sorry guys, making each other the butt of every joke, you know, not giving each other grace. The minute we do something that somebody doesn't appreciate, we want to cancel them. This isn't just about Kanye West. This is about our culture in general, right? We have so much other shit. Edwin, I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to talk about what you was talking about. We have so much other shit going on in the entertainment industry. There are, okay, so classic example of what I'm talking about when I say if it don't bleed, it don't lead. And I think that's what this Kanye West situation is about. It's about the fact that Kanye West is a provocateur. Kanye West is somebody that's like, you know, going to just say whatever you got to say, and we're paying attention. We're watching the interviews. We're listening to what the man is saying. And some of what he's saying, we're like, yeah, he's right about that. And then other things he's saying, we're like, hey, I don't know why he said that. What the hell he said? You know what I'm saying? But what we're doing, oh my goodness, y'all, I'm sorry. Everybody's calling me right now. But what we're doing is we are adding fuel to a fire that's already out of control, right? We have a serial killer in Kansas City killing Black women. A Black girl literally, y'all, let me tell y'all something. A Black girl literally escaped a fucking serial killer. They told there was a pastor in the community who told the police, we believe it's a serial killer. We doing some neighborhood sweeps. We done found some bodies, actual bodies of Black women, actual fucking bodies of Black women. And they're like, nah, ain't no serial killer. These police said there was no serial killer. And a girl escaped. This was this week. What are we talking about? I'll wait. We talking about Puff? We talking about or Love or whoever? Ye, Tip, Charelston White. We ain't talking about these Black women who turned up victims of a serial killer. And motherfuckers, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking like that while I'm holding my cup. Forgive me, sorors. People, see what I'm saying? You just can't say everything this way. People are more infuriated about a brother that we all know is going through some sort of break. I'm not saying that, and be clear, you can be going through a break and still make sense. Because sometimes the break is, I'm just going to tell everything. Tell the truth, shame the devil, being drunk, speaking sober thoughts. So I'm not saying that because he's going through a mental break, that some of what he's saying is not valid. Because guess what? I work in the industry he talking about. And had anything, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in calling people out. I don't believe in calling people names. I don't believe in being angry and you know, hostile and getting up, cussing people out and wanting to fight. Y'all saw that shit on R&B Divas. Somebody asked me about R&B Divas. Let me tell y'all something. I say it all the time. I have to live my life, right? My grandson, bless his heart, y'all, he got his clothes together for school. He done went up there, got in the bed. I didn't even have to tell him. He was in the bed by 8:30. He did his homework. He got his little air purifier thing going. He has turned into such a wonderful human being and such a big boy. And I have to one day explain to him why one day he's going to see a video of Selena standing over me, cussing me out, calling me SpongeBob, black gums, not need, all that dumb shit, right? And I think about it all the time. Like, that is a part of my legacy. That's something that's just going to come up on these internet streets. It's just there. It stays there. This is why I took my position so seriously in trying to just change the narrative, because I'm okay with it. But that might be something that's embarrassing for future generations who love and care about me, right? There's a story and a narrative about me being this difficult, crazy, you know what I'm saying, always tripping on people ass person. And I'm good with it, because I know that at the end of the day, all that means is that you really, you know, not gonna piss on me and tell me it's rated, and I'm gonna let you know about it. And I'm okay with that. But when you see that the read lives on much longer than the actual impact of a show that was about improving the lives of people and changing the trajectory of people's careers and fundraising and helping people to move forward and become better, when you think about the fact that motherfuckers would rather see somebody stand over you, cuss you out, go off, be ready to fight. Now, if I stood up and we was Godzilla and Mothra in this mug just bucking, baby, it would be the highest rated show on TV. I say all the time, when I did From the Bottom Up, which is a show I created with Queen Latifah and Shakim. We did at BET Her. And if you guys follow me, you've heard it, but there's some new followers. So, you know, anyway, Selena and I have Forever Deshaun Put It to Bed. I'm bringing it up because I'm making a point about the industry and Kanye and what our people want to see, right? We always talk about wanting to see something positive. We always talk about how tired we are of seeing black women fight. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I'm so tired of seeing black women read each other and go off on each other and cuss each other out. And the reason I'm mad about it is because I understand how powerful and how impactful and how dope as we would be if we just came together. Right? Latifah, U-N-I-T-Y. Come on, y'all. That's it. The division, the separation, us not liking each other, us disrespecting each other, us beefing with each other makes people a lot of money. And some of us make a lot of money doing it. But what you leave behind for your children, what you leave behind for your grandchildren, what you contribute to society as a whole by that behavior is something that is not worth it. It's just not. All this shit that's happening. I'll answer your question, Taylor. Somebody wants to know about Keena. Every time I get on here, I'm asked about stuff like that, but I'm going to answer because I love y'all. And I want y'all to know what the truth is. And that is the reason I get on here and I speak it, whether it's 3 people watching or 1,000 people watching. Because at the end of the day, you'll be able to go back and see my perspective on worth.tv for years to come. That is the only way. And that was part of the reason why I started my platform. And that's the reason why I'm rolling with the Nights with Nicci thing. And that is the reason why I try to stay consistent and let you guys understand it. Please forgive me. I talk with my hands a lot. I know it irritates some people. I point and talk a lot. But the reason why is because you can't just have a perspective out there that is a narrative that is created by an industry that doesn't give a fuck about us, period. I don't care what nobody say. Shit, I've been asked to consider some of these shows, I will not name, some of the biggest. And I'm sure the coin in the bag was going to be cute. But at the end of the day, I have to think about what that means in the future, how that represents my brand overall. And you got to leave some money on the table, you guys. You just got to leave some money on the table. Okay, let me look at some of these comments. You guys, thank y'all. Y'all so sweet. Y'all so sweet. I love it. Somebody said, such BS. We're expected to be well and nobody out there. Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of, here's a perspective, straight exploiting trauma, especially in the Black community. It is enabled by the universe. Absolutely. Actually encouraged. Willie Lynch. Come on, that Willie Lynch letter. You guys, stop fucking playing. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop cussing. Maybe. Stop playing. This Willie Lynch letter, that is it. Divide us and conquer us. R&B divas, there's no reason why that show shouldn't still be going on, just like Housewives and all the rest of them. The reason why the show is not going on is because, well, I think it is a more spiritual reason than that. But it is because, at the end of the day, I think we all got tired of the BS. And that is not what the show was created to do. We were hugely successful in the first season. We had a little bit of drama. And for me, that was enough. And when it turned into, let me divide them, let me, conquer them, there were so many things. It was people, I don't know if you've seen the interview with me and Angie Stone, but she made it very clear. It was people in her ear, it was people in all of our ears. And it was just negative, toxic, awful, destructive powers that be that did not protect the legacies of these women in R&B music, right? And think about where we all are now. I'm sure everybody's happy and successful and doing well, but think about where we all are now versus where we could have been if we had just stuck to the idea that we were going to stick together no matter what, and we're going to stay positive no matter what, and we're going to be able to leverage and use this opportunity to connect with our supporters and our fans and the people who care about us, and really build our businesses and build our brands and be something that our kids could be proud of. That shit, just because you rich don't mean shit. Kanye West is the richest entertainer ever, right? Like something like that. Yeah, money's powerful. Money helps you make a lot of, things happen, but it is also very destructive if you don't have your mind right, your body right, and your spirit right. I have seen the best of the best tumble. And if you think about it, this Kanye West thing is not new. Y'all, I remember when Kanye West first said, and I'm not going to say it out loud, but y'all remember what he said at that war show. And I'm not going to not say it out loud, not because I'm scared, just because it's a business decision. Because I don't want nobody coming trying to take my little 5 followers and shadow. I'm already shadow banned on Instagram. I'm shadow banned on every platform because I speak too much truth to power, right? And some days I'll be like, let me just flip out so I get a whole bunch of people to pay attention to what I'm saying. And then I think to myself, that's not how we do it. We got to take the long way around the building. But we going to get in that motherfucker, right? Oh, but we going to get in there. But Kanye West has not done anything out of what we would expect. He got on the award show and said what he had to say. And then also, when you think about Michael Jackson, like Michael Jackson got up and said stuff like, and we were like, oh shit, Prince wrote slave on the side of his face. Let's not miss that, you guys. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. I understand. I agree. It's a lot of shit that he said that I can't agree with and I can't support. But that's okay. And that's the thing I keep trying to tell y'all. That's the reason why I have Angela Stanton on my platform. That's the reason why I have other women who people look at and be like, oh, she's controversial and she's toxic or whatever. We got to start learning how to have conversations with people and talking about things that we all might not agree with, right? What's more impactful in our community, right? To sit down and have, what I wish Kanye West would consider doing, I truly wish he would consider doing this. I wish Kanye West would sit down with a group of Black women who don't mean him any ill will. And brothers, a combination of Black women and men who he can listen to and not talk so much and actually have some proactive dialogue, right? Because sometimes what we need in our lives is someone to translate the language. Sometimes people who mean very, very well, I believe, I'm sorry, who said it? Wait, let me remember who said it. Oh, I'm trying to go down here. He said, He's a provocateur and has poor delivery that diminishes his message. I could not agree more. Everything we say comes with criticism, consequences, indifference, and praise. And I think when you start operating from a place of ego, which is why I named my company No Ego very early on in the game, no easing God out. When you start to call yourself God, when you start to call yourself genius, when you start, I believe I'm a genius. I believe it in my heart. Now, the fact that I said that is kind of whack because it sounds like super pompous and full of myself, but I believe in myself that much is what I'm trying to say. That's about choosing your words. Now, watch me a clip. I believe I'm a genius. That's why I don't like that bitch. But we should all believe the best of ourselves. We should all believe that we're all capable of doing amazing things in the world. And I think that we all have gifts. I think that we all have things that we're genius, areas that we're genius in our lives. We just have to be motivated and inspired to find those things. And I think if Kanye West or Ye or Yeezy or whatever you call him, I think if he redirected some of that energy and, you know, it's like I talk to my husband, and I say this to my husband a lot, and hopefully I can say this to y'all and he don't go off on me because, you know, I'm putting his business in the street. But my husband and I have very deep conversations, right? And there are a lot of black men out here who understand exactly. They may not agree with everything that people like Charelston White, Kanye West is saying. But the reason these people have all these followers and these supporters is because there are people who agree with a lot of what they're saying, right? And people should be allowed to share how they feel and what they think. It's called freedom of speech. And we should be less reactive and more proactive. How can we be more proactive than reactive with brother Kanye West? Stop bashing him. Stop downing him. Stop, I'ma beat his ass. Take, you know what I'm saying? I can't stop what these businesses are doing. I don't want them to do that shit to me. I ain't getting in the middle of this stuff, you know. I'm not anti anything except copyright infringement and racism. Well, I'm anti a lot of shit because I was about to run down the line. But my point is just, if we come from a place of love, right? It doesn't mean we have to agree. It doesn't mean we support it, because I don't support some of the things the brother has said, but I don't want him to be ill. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want to say F him. You know what I'm saying? Because we turn on each other so fast, right? And there's so much other shit happening in the world. It's rappers out here killing each other every single day. Rapping is like the most dangerous profession in the world these days. I said it's like. And we are not completely disgusted and boycotting and picketing and canceling that shit. See, Dolores Tucker been telling us since the beginning of the hip hop. See, Dolores Tucker been telling our asses since, and I'm gonna get to some of these questions. See, Dolores Tucker been telling us since the beginning of hip hop. I'm sorry, I left my Facebook people out. Y'all, I'm sorry. These people like, what you doing? Hold on.
Right, we all
100%. No, wait. Sorry, Facebook. Sorry, guys. See, Dolores Tucker been telling us from the beginning where the shit was headed. And what would happen if we didn't get a hold of it. Now you got all these people that you've made hugely famous, right? Who are hugely successful for being on some low vibrational shit. I'm not saying that's Kanye. I'm saying all these people, because it's a lot of low vibrational motherfuckers out here with all these mantras and all of these, you know, horrible songs about killing each other and drill rap and all the other stuff. And we allow that to happen. And we watch the most toxic, destructive, you know, everybody reading everybody, you know, everybody putting everybody financial business in the street, everybody putting everybody marital business in the street. And nobody is as mad at that bullshit as they are with Kanye West. And what Kanye West said is destructive. It is irresponsible. It is his opinion that I think he should have kept to himself, some of the things that he said. But also there are things that he says that we can learn from. There are things that he said that we can be empowered by. And you got to learn how to take what you can use from a person, place, a thing, a situation. Take what you can use and then leave the rest until you discover that, oh, I can use that shit too, or you never use it again. But it does not require you to hate somebody because you disagree with them. That's the problem in our community. They use us as tools of the incompetent to destroy one another, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, and other. Black people destroy each other. White folk, let me tell you something. Let me answer a question and think about what I'm finna say, because I'm about to say something that might be a little controversial. Somebody asked me about Kina. I don't talk to Kina. I wish her the best. I reached out to her during the Essence Festival reunion opportunity. I asked her if she was interested in being a part of it. She said no, and don't ask her anymore. And we haven't talked since then. I don't wish her no ill will. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't talk. You know what I'm saying? We don't really communicate. She left the group. We haven't talked since. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not making records about Kina. I'm not mad at Kina. I'm not wishing Kina any ill will. I wish her the absolute best. Brownstone is Nicci, Aaron, and Tisha. And we are on the ballot for a Grammy nomination. So please consider us for that. But no, I don't have a problem with Kina. I don't have a problem with Selena. I don't have a problem with anybody. What's the point of that? Like, what gets accomplished with that dumb shit? Like, I don't have the time. I literally don't have the time to be beefing with nobody. None of us do. That's the crazy shit. Who has the time with everything going on in the world and people trying to survive and keep their heads right to be beefing with people? That's some silly shit. It just is so dumb. Dumb. I said it, dumb. It's dumb to be beefing with people, especially your own people, because we're all hoping and wishing and praying for the same thing. We want health for our families. We want wellness. We want generational wellness. We want our kids to be educated. We want to eat good. We want to vacation with our friends. We want to have nice Christmas parties and play some spades and beat somebody motherfucking ass and set they ass. We want to have fun in life. We want to enjoy life. Why are we spending any of our time beefing? Black people are the minority. We are fighting against people killing our young men in the streets. We are fighting against serial killers that's just roaming the fucking neighborhoods, killing people. And then the man is like, oh, is something going on? Is something going on? And we so busy judging Kanye West that we're not thinking about the fact that there are black women who are victims of a serial killer in Kansas City because we're on the silly shit. That's why I never get on the silly train. That's just dumb. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, you cannot agree with someone. You can be disappointed in someone. You can feel like somebody needs help and they need therapy and they need a hug. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the brother need a hug. And what we fail to realize is that the more that we magnify and personify and glorify this beef shit, all we're doing is making people who are toxic, destructive, angry, bottom-dwelling ass motherfuckers who live their lives telling somebody else's story the wrong fucking way. We're giving them more power. We're giving them more influence, right? When we allow a person who does not look like us to divide us, we are feeding into the destruction of our community. Kanye West is, let me think about my words. Kanye West is someone that we can all learn from. He is someone that we can all learn what not to do, what to do. There's a little bit of truth in a lot of what he says, and there's a lot of bullshit in a lot of what he says. That's his perspective. I can't hate this man or wish him ill will or hope that he gets shut down because he stumbled upon some words that he shouldn't have used or a perspective that we don't necessarily agree with. You're not going to get me to wish ill will on this man. You're not going to get me or convince me no matter what. And he shouldn't be wishing ill will on nobody else. Again, we don't have to agree, but we don't have to hate each other. The black community can't afford to do that. We can't. What do you think about Nicki Minaj fighting with every fellow black female rapper right now? I think it goes with what you're talking about. I don't know what's going on with Nicki Minaj. I don't know what's going on with her. I did see something. I like Nicki Minaj and I like Lotto. And I wish that Miss Nicki and Lotto understood how powerful the unity would be. But it's kind of counterproductive to be positive if you've built a career based on, and I'm not saying either one of these women has done this, but I think the industry overall has been built on conflict and division, right? And I think that it's just amazing to me how there's so much dope shit that's happening out here in our communities. Like there are, people who perform well together and play well together who are doing great things. Like I was just listening to the folks who are on the Grammy ballots and I was like, oh, this is so dope. It's like some really dope, talented, creative people, right? But those people are not going to get the attention or the focus because we got two black women dogging each other out. Or apparently, I don't know. I didn't know she was beefing with everybody, but I just think it's toxic. I love Remy. I love the female rappers. I think they're dope. I love Cardi. Like I hate that. So what does that mean? Because, I'm not team Lotto or I'm not team Nicki that I can't like. It's all of it is dumb. Auntie Nicci said it. It's just, we gotta stop fighting with each other. There's more power in us working together. There's more power in us learning from each other. Imagine, let me tell y'all something. This is the shit they don't see. The thing is, the reason why my reach is limited is because they're not gonna get me out here wilding out and doing all this crazy dumb shit. No, I'm gonna wait for the judge, like a good little plaintiff. I'm waiting for the judge. I ain't got. Ooh, shit I want to say so bad. It's things I know. It's things I could say right now to be like, ooh. It would create a whole lot of fodder for the blogs. But I'm not doing it because I don't wish ill will for Katori Hall. I don't want her family to suffer. I don't want to suffer, and I don't want nobody put no ill will on me. And I'll fight tooth and nail to the death if I have to save my livelihood, my family, and the people I love and care about. I don't want to, but I will. And I'm not going to go out of my way. Yeah, I went through a phase of being very angry. There are things that I said, and it's the truth, my truth. You know what I'm saying? But I also had to consider that, and a lot of people don't even realize this. Listen, you guys, here is something, and I hate to keep going back to that, but in order for y'all to understand how real this shit is for me, I have to tell you what's really going on in my life. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this on some other interviews I have coming up. But the thing that is, a lot of people don't realize is that I did not want the feud. I did not want the public debacle. I did not want everybody. I knew the blogs was going. And in fact, when this Kelly Price thing went down, I was already in the pre-stuff with this other thing I'm in that I won't mention. And I didn't want to even get involved in the Kelly Price thing because I was like, oh, I got this other thing coming. I just don't like, it's crazy because people be like, you always in some drama. I despise conflict and drama. I hate it. But because I don't back down from it, and because if you back me into a corner, I'm not coming out swinging. I'm coming out levitating. Fight. Listen, I don't ask for it. I don't seek it out, but I don't run from it either. And I think there's a way to address conflict in an honest way, in a civilized way, and in a respectful way. And I hate to see female rappers fighting. I hate to see male rappers fighting. I hate to see R&B divas fighting. But that's what the public wants. That's what people tune in for. That's what make motherfuckers famous. That is what, man, we got all these corporations. I'd be like, damn, they endorse that person? Or dang, that person is doing, it blows my mind. Like we got major corporations that sponsor people. And I'm like, no shade. Like I said, auntie, keep it real. I don't mean any ill will at all when I say this, Lizzo. She from Detroit. I love her. I think her confidence is awesome. You know, I wish I was more confident in my career early on. But when I started playing that flute and twerking, I was like, oh, wow, this is the Smithsonian. This is like, what is the Library of Congress? It was crazy. Like, I was like, oh, wow, so you can just pretty much do anything and nobody cares. Like, as provocative and compelling and wild as it is, nobody's going to check you. Like, where do we draw the line? Where does the check come in? We know where we draw the line. We see where the line is drawn with this Kanye West stuff. We could fight each other all day. We could kill each other all day. We could disrespect each other all day. But y'all know how that pendulum swings. They not playing. And you just have to deal with it. You just have to suck it up. And you just have to deal with it. Because guess what? We haven't been planning all along for the proactive changes that need to be made in our community in order for us to thrive. You can't just come up out of the blue and just be mad and then all of a sudden you want to change the world tomorrow. That's the problem I have with Ye. I get it. When the shit comes up, it comes out. Right? When it comes up, it comes out. You can say what you got to say and hope that people don't take it the wrong way. But I also think that it's more proactive when you move in silence when you're at that level, right? Some of us can't move in silence like that, right? Some of us can't just, well, everybody can move in silence, right? That's not what I mean. Let me try to clear this up. For most people to be heard, you have to be consistent and you have to be loud, but you have to be strategic. When you're at the level of superstardom that Kanye West is at, you can be silent. You can strategize. You can collectivize, right? And it doesn't have to be about hurting another person. See, that's the thing that I think a lot of us miss. We assume that progress requires someone else to lose. A lot of us believe that in order for us to move forward and move up in life, somebody has to be below us. Like we don't believe that we can move up together, right? That was the problem with R&B Divas. Everybody wanted to be the person that created the show when it was Faith and I. Everybody wanted to be the Nene Leakes, as opposed to us just all playing our position on a team. If we're an NFL team, like we're all getting a ring. You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time when we talk about Brownstone. This ain't Brownstone, this ain't Brown. You wouldn't say that about the Dallas Cowboys because your favorite player left the team. We're the only people, the only culture, the only community that doesn't allow each other to grow and to thrive because we're not doing some shit that somebody wants you to do. And that's foul and it's awful. And there's so much evil, strategic division that thrives in our community because of people's insecurities and people's inability to allow the collective to work as a team. Conflict happens between people. The issue is lack of effective interpersonal conflict management and resolution skills. You sound like a really smart individual, and I agree. But the point is, agree with you 100%. This is EXO, who's been making a lot of great points. Conflict happens between people. The issue is the lack of effective interpersonal conflict management and resolution skills. Where do you get that? I ask. EXO, I got a question for you. Where do you get that? Where do you learn, if you don't learn it within your household, and most of us as people of color don't learn it in our household because most of us are trying to navigate generational trauma, right? Black people have for generations been fighting all sorts of generational curses and trauma. And our parents, who were very young, when I think about the fact that my mother was 23 when she had me, when I think about the fact that, our community, right? You know what I'm saying? We thought, the grocery store was supposed to smell like rotten meat, right? Or I did anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like food stamps, crack, you know what I mean? All sorts of shit. I remember I was telling my husband, and I started to tell you guys about the conversations my husband and I had, but I remember, the moment in time when crack started taking over our neighborhood. I remember because there was a sister in our neighborhood who, beautiful, absolutely, everybody, I think we all can, if we think back, can kind of remember this. It was always, not always, in our community, in our neighborhood, there was a woman, beautiful, drop dead gorgeous. We're like, why is she always on the corner? Ooh, wow. Then a couple weeks later, you see her, you're like, ooh, what's going on with her? And then next thing you know, her sister. And then a guy down the street. And then my cousin. And then this person. And we started really seeing real time the impact and the effects of crack in our community. We lived in a beautiful neighborhood, tree-lined streets. People took care of their yards. I was telling my husband, I remember the older ladies in the community buying those little white iron chair sets and stuff, and the chair sets start coming up missing. Did you see somebody on my porch? My bike coming up missing, right? So crack comes into the neighborhood, comes into the community starts to go to shit, right? Everybody wants to get away. Everybody want to run. I want to go to college. I want to move to California. I want to get out of here. We ran away. We left it because it had been destroyed by drugs and violence. And we're the first generation, in my opinion, of Black people who have actually had the ability to build businesses and be real entrepreneurs. I mean, others, there were people back in the 70s and the 80s who did it. But I think now, like you look at Instagram and you look at how successful people can become and the fact that we can reach each other and we can touch each other. And that is what I believe that people who mean ill will fear most. The fact that when we come together as a community and we give each other an opportunity to thrive and to flourish. I know so many dope, wealthy, successful entrepreneurs that are just doing really great. And it is because we've been able to connect with each other on something other than the bullshit. We actually can have conversations about businesses and entrepreneurship and generational wealth. Like that stuff is all stuff that's just now, I'm just now learning a lot of that, I'm just now learning that I shouldn't have signed this horrible contract when I was 23 years old. But who knows that shit at 23 years old? So when somebody is talking about what really goes on, it's funny, I saw this white guy, I don't know what group he was from, but he was from an older group. He was on, is it Joe Rogan, I believe, on his podcast. And he talked about how he was 23 years old and he signed this contract and then you get into this hole and it's just, and it's a toxic, awful place. And if the entertainment industry wants to really thrive, I've said it a gazillion times, every artist is just like, I think Kanye said it, somebody's going to come after him. Somebody's going to come after me. Like the seeds have been planted. And when I say come after, I don't mean literally coming after, although, shit, we be making sure folks is aware of what's going on just in case they try. But meaning the next generation that follows. There's a generation that's going to follow me. There's a generation that's going to follow Kanye. There's a generation that's going to follow all of these people who are out here speaking truth to power. So you're not going to fix the problem by calling everybody crazy. Everybody's not crazy. What's going to fix the problem is by having intelligent dialogue with creatives and figuring out how we can solve and resolve some of these issues. I don't agree with using anger and hostility as a way to solve problems. I think strategy is so much more effective, and being proactive is so much more effective. Somebody said he needs a Black woman's set of shoulders to cry on. Yeah, and again, we don't know that man's walk. We don't know his story. We can talk about the fact that his mother is no longer here and, he's traumatized because of that. But again, you don't want to negate or diminish some of the shit that he's saying is right. Some of it ain't right at all. But some of the shit he's saying is spot on. Ownership, companies taking your shit and daring you to sue them. All that's happening. So how do you, as a person who lives a lot of the experiences that he's discussing, right? Maybe not at the level that he is, but how do you, as a person who in your own little bubble kind of lives and understands and can relate to that, but then completely disagrees with other things that he's saying. How do you navigate that? By not judging people, by taking what you can use from the conversation and leaving what you cannot, and not jumping on the bandwagon because it's going to get you views and it's going to get you likes and it's going to get you fans. You know, I think it's just irresponsible to wish ill will on anybody. And if I'm not wishing ill will on the people who I believe infringed on my rights, then I don't think anybody should be wishing ill will on anybody. That's just how I get down. Sis said Ye rapped about killing, generally speaking, about other rappers. I don't know. I don't really listen. And that's the other thing. Like, I don't really listen to his music like that. I mean, you know, I know like Gold Digger and I know the song Selena did and stuff like that, but I'm not really, I don't get off into, I don't follow nobody like that. I don't. I just don't. I don't watch movies twice. It's weird. I don't listen to myself on the radio. Ask anybody who knows me. My song come on the radio, I turn it off. It's like I've seen it. I've heard it. You're absolutely right. We should be reared with it during our upbringing. Unfortunately, it is prevalent in our community. Exactly. So you can't blame, like the boy said, the young man said, you can't blame the the dishes for being dirty. You can't blame the dishes for being dirty, right? Our community has been suffering for generations. There is trauma everywhere. And anybody who rides around this motherfucker trying to act like they're not going through some form of trauma is playing with themselves. It's a thing. It wasn't too long ago we were slaves. How's that not trauma? My high school did not become segregated until like 68 or something like that. It's crazy. I was born in 1970. So it's just the shit that we've had to deal with. White supremacy is real. Corporations, not all of them, some of them, take advantage of poor people and creatives. It's just a fact. It just is. But what you can't do is think that you can get out here and disrespect people in the process of trying to enlighten them and disguise it as lifting and enlightening them. If you don't rock with Ye, move on. Y'all give him too much. No. I think there's a excuse me. I think that there's something for us to learn in this situation. I think it's important, which is why I got on here to talk about it. I wasn't going to talk about it, right? But I feel like there's something to learn. And I think that I offer a different perspective. It's people who are on social media like F him, forget him, and that's their opinion. And I'm not mad at them, and it is what it is, and they're entitled to their opinion. But everything we do has consequences. And unfortunately, Ye's consequences is that he's going to lose a lot of folks that supported him. But he might gain some people in the process. And that's just what it is. Like, at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing that we can do as a community is just to be easier with each other. Offer each other more grace. Offer each other more love. Hello, Marvin. Best manager ever. See, I got a good manager who, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't let me be out here talking about, no, I'm joking. Some of us never learn to cope. And we don't go to therapy. Absolutely. Y'all, it's people getting beat down at Walmart. It's people getting murdered in the streets. It's so much terrible, awful stuff going on in our community. And that's the, gist of this entire conversation. If we are going to be angry about anything, let's be angry about the issues that really, actually, physically, like you can actually look at the data, look at the numbers. Let's look at that shit and ask ourselves how we fix that. All of this getting mad and wishing ill will on people, and if I see them, I'm going to beat them, and all that is not getting us anywhere fast. We need to stop dogging each other out so much and stop disrespecting each other so much and love on each other more. That's it. Love on each other more. People thrive off of conflicts and dumb shit. Exactly. And it's just so much toxic, awful shit happening in our community that we should all be upset about. And the toxic, awful thing that happened in our community last week is that we had an actual serial killer killing black women, and ain't nobody tweeting about it. Ain't nobody talking about it. Ain't nobody mad about it. Ain't nobody said F the serial killer. Ain't nobody reached out to the people to find out who got what. Nobody cares. Because we need to talk about Ye and Charelston White and whoever else. And I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm 52. I'll be 53. He's a distraction. Yep. He's a distraction. That's it. Maybe his being silent was a problem. Yeah, Kanye West ain't never really been silent. I agree with him too, especially in the black community. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Why judge someone when you made that person famous and get disappointed when they don't fit your expectations? Exactly. 100%. Look at how many blacks are on hold in their nationality more than their race. For example, my parents are Haitian and I'm proud of that. Some of us hold on. Yeah, exactly. And that's what's really terrible. What we should really be angry about is that our culture has been robbed. Our culture has been co-opted. Our culture has been dictated by people who don't look like us. Our culture has been controlled by a culturally incompetent white male lens. That's just a fact. Every show you see on TV, trust me. Ain't as many black people running the show as you think. Ask 50. Because y'all watching Power and he ain't tweeting about it. And that's because he doesn't own it. I'm talking about ownership. I'm talking about us owning our stories, rewriting her story. I'm talking about the most important moves and decisions that we can make. Ownership. Ownership of our likeness, ownership of our stories, ownership of our businesses and our brands. And the reason we don't have ownership is because we're too busy talking shit about each other and tearing each other down and disrespecting each other and wishing each other ill will to really take stock of how important it is for us to be unified. That's it. People who made Kanye West famous, my point is that no one would bat an eye if a less bigger star said the same thing. The same thing would be done about Kanye West. Just don't support him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just take from the man what you can use and just leave the rest. But don't wish ill will on people. Because let me tell you something. Karma, like I said before, is the most patient gangster ever. People think they got all this power, this money, this karma. Fuck your whole world up. Blow it. So you better be putting as good karma as you possibly can out there. All right, let me see if there's any more questions before I jump off. How long have I been on this thing? An hour and a half. Okay. I'm sure he knows how much he gets Google search daily, even before. Yeah. Ms. Nicci looking flawless on her live. Thank you. I don't feel flawless, but I appreciate it. I'll take it. So why share so people can be nosy and sabotage, even infringe? It's so sad that black community is so divided. Yep, absolutely. Jaguar, Jill, Scott, and Kelly's. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to have a conversation. I think Jaguar Wright is an incredibly talented musician and a smart lady. Like I said, I don't agree with everything Jaguar say. I don't agree with everything Angela Stanton say. I don't agree with the way people deliver things. But I am a woman who believes that we can all have dialogue when we don't agree, and we can all learn something from it. I think telling somebody to shut up, you don't want to hear it because you don't agree, go to hell, F you, is just so narrow-minded and shallow. How come you can't just listen to what the hell somebody got to say and walk away from it like, no, it's just crazy and I don't agree with that, but, we had a conversation and I learned some new shit. We can't do it because of ego. Pride and ego and thinking we're smarter than the average bear. Thinking we got more to offer and more to bring to the table than the next person. Thinking that we don't need each other to thrive, survive, and succeed, which is some bullshit and it's a lie. So stop letting people divide us. That's what y'all need to be angry about. That's what y'all need to be in an uproar about. You be in an uproar about these women who are victims of the serial killer that nobody talked about. You need to be in an uproar about the fact that the Black News Channel closed down and we don't have no Black news coming from somewhere. I'm sorry, the Griot is doing it with Mark Lamont Hill and Ebony. Thank you very much. I'm so excited about that. But we need to be in an uproar about things that are really, actually negatively impacting our community. Kanye West is just on a rant. And if you listen close, then you might learn something. Either what not to do or what to do. But there's no point in wishing ill will on a person, especially if you think that that person is going through some kind of struggle. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I would only assume. All right. Don't listen, but make it disrespectful situation. Just remove yourself. Exactly. Baby, just get up and remove yourself, honey. They call me Norma Desmond on R&B Divas because I get up and I'm not argue with you for what? Y'all didn't see me on, y'all never saw that because I didn't do it. And I challenge you. Now, I might have been speaking loud and passionately because I'm from Detroit, but I ain't never got up in nobody's face cussing and ready to fight. I've never done that ever. And I think it's stupid. I didn't think about the serial killer thing. Why is it's not all over the news because they don't care about shit but Kanye West. Because people just, I don't know what's going on with us. We got Black women literally victims of a serial killer. And the gag is not just that it's a serial killer. The gag is that the pastor in the community told the police it was a serial killer. And he didn't believe him until one of the women escaped. And now we know that there's a serial killer in Kansas City. Or I guess they got his ass. So, hey, listen. What we need to be mad about is how these algorithms shut us down when we're talking about important things like ownership in our community. What we need to be mad about is the fact that none of us really own the content that is going to provide generational wealth for people who don't look like us. What we need to be mad about is the fact that people keep coming in, co-oping, infringing, taking away creative properties that make billions of dollars, and everybody wants to divide and conquer the person who's standing up for herself. Like, that's the dumbest shit ever in the whole wide world. Y'all running around here campaigning for a woman who don't even own that shit. Allegedly. Possibly. Word on the curb. Okay. And you see how easy it is to say some shit that you don't need to say? Because no one cares about Black women. Yep. That's it. You guys, this allergies is off the chain. Thank you guys. This is a good conversation. Yeah, absolutely. So I think the most important thing that we can do for ourselves and our community, forever Deshaun said, is slavery. Listen, Prince wrote slave across the side of his face. And listen, think about it. Use your brains, people. Let's use our brains. Kanye West ain't the first person that flipped out and went off on the industry and will not be the last. Promise you that. And we're not always going to like people's delivery. But we need to start reading the story and not the headline. And too many of us have been reading the headline. And that's just tragic. Right? Again, so we clear. I don't agree with everything this brother has said. I think he is out of order. And I think he was very disrespectful to a lot of people. But I understand when you get to the point where you're just like, okay. Right? But on a spiritual level, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get up out of here. On a spiritual level, I think what we really have to be most careful of is the fact that the universe is answering what we believe at a very rapid rate. God is giving you what you pray for real quick. Be careful about the things that you say. I don't allow people in my life to speak negatively about shit. I could be like, I ain't going, and I ain't got, and it could be real, and I could be actually looking at the numbers that say, but I'm not receiving or speaking or endorsing or allowing negative energy, negative talk, negative speak. And there's so much negative shit going on in the world right now. Y'all better be careful. You better shield yourself. Because the lion's gate is open. And I don't mean the company. I mean, if you are a spiritual person, and you understand things on a higher level, y'all know the portal I'm talking about, wide open, and shit is popping. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful about who you with on every level. Because some people truly can speak things into existence. I believe lots of us can. So you got to be careful about the things that you say, good, bad, or indifferent. Will you ladies add searching to your next day show? No, probably not. Although it is something that's streamed. Let me say this real quick, and then I'm going to get off of my live and get ready to have an early day tomorrow. Some really exciting things that are happening that I'll share with you guys. Brownstone is on the Grammy ballot for your consideration. All I Want, Best Traditional R&B Performance and Best Song for Visual Media, and the song I'm Not Giving Up for Blue Ribbon Special Award, right? And I'm excited because it looks like some other really positive things are happening at the top of the year with respect to our touring opportunities and such, right? And we actually ending the year with a bang. It's really exciting. So please follow Brownstone Official. Brownstone Official. You guys, I go live more because my reach is being limited by people who don't want me to speak my truth, which is why I understand when people go out there and they talk truth, speak truth to power. I see why they're doing it, because it's not fair. It is not fair. It is not fair to limit people's ability to reach their audience. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It's some bullshit. I'm not picking no fights because I want my Instagram, and they be snatching Instagrams up left and right. But I got 185,000 followers. And when I post something about Stacey Abrams and it gets 120 views and 6 likes, something definitely going on. If I twerk, pop, flip, do something trendy, I might get 60, 70,000. Baby, listen, I see clearly what is happening. And that is something we all need to be conscious of. So support your artists who are starting their own platforms. Support people who are telling you to reach them in other places, because sooner or later, people, that is how they're going to control the narrative, right? They are going to control the narrative by limiting your reach. There's no reason on God's green earth why we should have all these followers and only have access to a certain number of them. That is some bullshit. It's not right. It's not right. Especially those of us who are out here really trying to do positive things and say positive things in our community. It's very disappointing. It's very disheartening. That is why I created Worth TV. And if I was not in the middle of a major legal battle, our streaming platform would already be up and we would already have a ton of really great content. But because every day I wake up to lawyer bills, and I'm paying them. Shit. Baby, listen. We gonna do what we gotta do to make sure we get what we got to get. Period. You're gonna I'm getting off in a minute. But it's just a fact. Like there's so many ways people manipulate, and so many ways that people rob you of your opportunity to generate equity. People, I didn't say anybody specifically. If you want to know more about my case, you can go to worthmedia.com, WIRF, Women in Reality Film and Media, worthmedia.com. Take a look at the stipulated facts. You only see my lives pop up sometimes. Exactly, right. Listen, they the shadow banned your girl. It is what it is. And that's why I'm out here in these streets, hustling every day, burning a candle at 12 ends. Because when they don't like what you got to say, they be like, okay, we're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you up. Let me tell you something. It reaches the right people. See, I'm not doing this for fame. I'm not doing this for popularity. And I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I know that one day the right person is going to stumble upon one of these lives. And they're going to change the world. Because of the information that they get collectively from those of us who are speaking truth to power, right? Sometimes your role is to share your truth so that the person, the Neo, whoever that may be, can step up and really make positive changes in our community, right? They figured out a way to keep us divided. They have figured out a way to keep our reach limited. They figured out a way to keep us broken and operating from a place of trauma. So that is why I go so hard every time I get on live. That is why I'm so transparent every time I get on live, because I know that there are people out there, young creatives, who need answers in order to accomplish the goal. And the goal is not one that I may accomplish in my lifetime. Kanye might not accomplish it in his lifetime. Michael, Prince, all of us creatives that speak truth to power. But I'm impacted by C. Dolores Tucker. I'm impacted by Martin Luther King. I'm impacted by all of these truth tellers. And as we evolve and keep passing the torch and keep lighting one another's candles, we get closer and closer to success as a community. We've already, started doing really well because of social media and because of our access to one another and our ability to patronize each other and build our businesses. Now we just have to stop dividing and conquering one another. Stop being used as a tool of incompetent people. That's it. All right, you guys. So I'm tired. I gotta get up early. These allergies are off the chain for me. I love y'all. I really do. I might not know all of y'all, but I love you guys. And I appreciate y'all for sticking around and listening and sharing. And I hope that this fake ass industry, I said it, and all the fake ass people in it. If you're not fake, I'm not talking to you. If you're fake, this is for you. Understand that a movement in the direction of freeing people's minds cannot be stopped by destroying a few people. It is an energy that is alive. It is an energy that is circulating and reaching the right people. And it is un-motherfucking stoppable. So the best thing we can do is figure out how to work together so we can all make money, be happy. Art can be art. Creatives can be protected. And everybody can make money. Because that's all these motherfuckers want to do until you discover that you can be a billionaire and have the whole world against you. All right, y'all. That's it. Keep your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit protected. Safe, protected. Love you guys. Wish you the best. And thank y'all for hanging out. Nights with Nicci. And tell a friend that Brownstone is back again. Because Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all of these companies that, I was about to do a yay. Good night. At least I know when I need to get the fuck up. All right, love you guys. Peace. All right, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Who else? LinkedIn. Love y'all too. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Brownstone is back again.